La da dee 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 dee. Stormy weather. Good morning, everybody. This is Vincent with Listings to Leads. We're going to get started here in a couple minutes, but if you can let me know, can you hear me and can you see my screen? And I see we have people here from California all the way over to Florida. So we're coast to coast today. We'll give it just a minute here to let everybody get in. And while we're waiting, if you can let me know, if you're new to us, let me know in the comments panel. But also let me know what brought you to Listings to Leads. If you're new to us, were you looking for something? Were you looking for more marketing? Were you looking for more listings? Are you looking just to grow your business? Let me know in the comments panel. Thanks, Tomer. Hey, Ryan. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, this is our onboarding class. We're going to give it another minute to let people log in. But if you're new to us, definitely let me know what brought you to us. Maybe it was a coach, but maybe there was something that you were looking for, and I want to make sure we're addressing those things that you need in your business. And we'll give it just a minute. Oh, Ryan's brand new agent. Okay. Cool. There's a lot of, there's a lot of tools here to help you build your business. We've got a lot of stories. Actually, these three people right here, well, these two are very new agents, these top two. So let's get into it. Tamara wants more listings. Hello, Randy. Yeah, we definitely have some compelling strategies and tools to help you get more listings. So let's get into it. Thanks for joining me. Again, this is our getting started / onboarding call, and this is Listings to Leads. So if you're new to us, I've asked everybody as they're logging in, let me know what it is that you need in your business. Some of you have said listings, some of you are brand new agents. So let me kind of stroll through the front page because there's a lot on here that's actually really important. There are four things I think that you all need to walk away from or walk away with on this call, okay? So if you're new to us, these are the four things I definitely want you to understand. Our expired marketing is the #1 way of getting more listings. Our open house marketing actually was the #1 way for almost all of 2025. Our open house marketing actually gets you more listings. Of course, it gets you buyers, but it's getting you in the market, letting homeowners know. I'll show you why that's the case. #3 is our listing presentation, which literally is what's making our clients get so many listings, including expireds. And #4 is our Facebook ad software. These are actually the most important parts of the platform. There's a whole lot more that we do here, but this is our first time talking to your new clients. I want to make sure you have those four things in your quiver and you are using them consistently. Because think of it this way. You go out and start working expireds, you get listings. And you get listings quickly. You start holding open houses, well, what are you going to do to that? You're going to use our nearby homeowner letter, you're going to run ads on Facebook, and you're going to start meeting buyers and more homeowners who are thinking of selling coming through your open house. And then, of course, you're using the Facebook and the listing presentation in those for an open house, and you're using listing presentation for expired. So it's really a rinse and repeat. If you log into the system and you're new to us, you might realize like, whoa, there's so much here, I don't know where to start. And guess what? I just told you where to start. Okay. So let's look at these three people here because they're all jumping these are all recorded. Actually, they started working on our expired in November. We launched it right around October. Took a few weeks for our clients to understand what was going on. And I'm going to give you a quick story just from these guys and show you a few details. First, the young lady, JJ, on the bottom left here. Who is it? Ryan said he's a new agent. This young lady down here, Ryan, has been out of high school for about 3 years and been a realtor for about 18 months. Okay. Maybe not exact, but about 18 months. And she has 4 listings in 6 weeks. All right. Now, I'm going to show you where you can learn about that. There's a quick call here, 40 seconds. This gentleman up here has been a banker for 20 years. And in this coming April in 2026, he will have been a realtor for 2 years. So not a whole lot of experience, but he is crushing it with our expired marketing. This video that you're looking at, he's basically telling us in the first 2 weeks of January, he closed 2.2 million in new listings. And that's solely from working expireds. Now, this gentleman here, Scott Murray, he's been 20 years in the industry. He's at EXP. He knows what he's doing. And he added 2.7 million to his pipeline in 3 days of door knocking. So these three people, frankly, are hitting up the expired marketing market in 3 different ways. And I'm going to show you where you can go learn how to do that. And you need to look at what they're doing, because why reinvent the wheel, and start applying it, right? Start applying expired marketing to get more listings. So if you keep going down the page, you will see a few things here. Our Facebook ad software. I mentioned that's one of the 4 things, right? Open house. So this lady will tell you, runs one $35 ad, has 3 active buyers and 1 listing from 1 ad for 1 open house. She's in Virginia. This gentleman here owns an LPT office in Texas. He runs an ad. Well, actually, he has an office, so he runs a lot of ads, but he'll tell you in this video that he actually had 1 home, runs ads for it while it's for sale, and generates 114 buyer leads. Okay, 114 buyer leads. With our Facebook ad software, that means he's got 114 name, email, and phone numbers. Of those buyer leads, he actually put 3 of those leads into homes, got them to purchase 3 separate homes. In this video, he says, hey, now that it's sold, we're marketing it as sold, and he gets one $4 lead, seller lead, and that lead turns into a $400,000 sale and a $450,000 purchase. It's not going to happen with every lead, but Facebook leads can be really good, especially if you know how to convert them. Now, down here, we have automated listing marketing, and we're going to talk about that for sure. And as you know, I mentioned our listing presentation. I want to point out Terry on here, and this is specifically for you newer agents. And that is, she has a listing. So this is recorded here, I want to say in like December. And she got her license about a year ago. And after and also she was like in the Coast Guard for 20 years up in Alaska, and decides to move down to Florida with her husband and get a real estate license, right? Why not? Well, in that first year, which is about a year ago, her daughter has a child, and she just takes off 11 months to go help her daughter, right? That's awesome. And I think she was actually only walking around in her neighborhood for about a month and meets a homeowner who says, oh, I'm thinking of selling. She signs up, and in that day, I reached out to her just to give her a welcome call. And I asked her, do you have any listings presentations coming up? And she said, yes. And so we created a custom listing presentation. She went out the very next day. And if you listen to that video, she will tell you, they asked her, where do I sign? And that's really the key here. That listing presentation is so powerful that people understand you're very different from the average realtor, right? Now, if you can see me in my screen here, I'm actually holding a copy of the listing presentation for expired homeowners. And all 3 of these people here are using that. When they're meeting people, they want to get this in their hand because it's branded to you on every page. It's about 25 pages long. We'll talk about what's inside here in just a minute, but it's frankly a way more robust story than 98% of all realtors are telling, right? And it's very important when you're thinking about expireds, because expireds wanted to sell their home, but for whatever reason, they couldn't do it. So now they maybe have more realistic expectations, and you have a very powerful way to help them sell the home. And so you need to get in our expired training and get involved with that. So before we get into the system and look at all, like, how do you do these things, right? I want to take us to the marketing calendar. It's up here. It's the first link on the left. And you can see that you can follow us on YouTube, which I highly recommend. You can get to our live trainings, which we have like 5 days a week. You can find that link at leadgenwebinars.com. And then we also have a Facebook mastermind group, and we have another expired mastermind group. So let's go look at YouTube real fast. So I'm going to send this link to everybody right now. And honestly, this is the link that I think everybody should be holding on to. Now, as I said, we do live training 5 days a week, but your schedule, you're busy people, your schedule doesn't always work with ours. So I want to make sure that you're coming here when you have some downtime, because I know like Ryan is new, right? You're a straight up new agent. There is actually not a more powerful real estate advertising platform in the whole country, right? When you see what we're doing with free social media posts, with ads and able to be run in 2 clicks on Facebook and Instagram and Google, and that we have email tools for you, and we have landing pages for you, and we have 80 PDF guides for you, and we have print tools. There frankly is no company creating that wide array of tools, all with call to actions built into it, right? So to learn all that, you got to peel the onion. You're not going to get it all in one day. We're going to have a good high level talk here today, but you're going to forget half of what I say. And that's why I just sent you this link, because I want everybody to get on this link when you have spare time. And let me show you what you definitely want to look at. All right. Right here, just sold marketing. If you want more listings, learn how to do just sold marketing. Right here is a big class on expireds. Scott's got this, a long one, 2 hours long, but I'm telling you, expireds is the #1 way of getting more listings. He's got another call here. Now, I do a call every 2 weeks called Top Tools for More Listings. And if you want more listings, I would highly recommend watching that. But I'm going to scroll down, because you can see we just kind of keep going. I'm going to scroll down because remember those 3 videos that I told you on the top of our website? I need to come back and talk to you about it. Let me tell you about it. You see this lady here, Gwen? Gwen signed up last September, okay? September of 2025. And I spoke to her when she signed up, and I said, hey, you got to get on expireds and you got to do this, that, and the other. And she's like, okay. But you know what? Gwen's a little bit older, and she's actually not the most tech savvy person out there. We have a lot of people who are, but the majority of our clients are not very tech savvy. And that's why, we're so helpful, because we automate so much. So I saw her going into the workshops, and I saw her questions, and I could tell for almost like 2 months, she was really struggling to understand what we were talking about when it came to expireds. But you can see right here that this is a month ago that she comes in and says, hey, I've got 3 listings and 2 active buyers, all from listings to leads. Keep trying. So I think she says something like that, right? She finally figured it out. And I can tell you we did a call with her, Scott and I did. What was really awesome is not only that she got those results, but from her conversation, she was very confident about how to approach her market now, because she understood the tools that we have given her, and she knows how to talk to people about them. That's why that is a month ago. So that's like the beginning of January. It was actually the end of December when she posted that. My guess is by spring, she is going to be going full throttle, and I'll be excited. We'll be excited to check in with some of our clients. But actually, I want you to come down even further about 2 or 3 months ago, because the expired story, it's very important. And I want to point out this call right here, which this is a longer version of the call that's on our homepage. It's Scott Murray, expired. And he tells you how he door knocks. Remember, he's been in the business for 20 years, all right? And he's really confident on the door. And when you listen to what he's doing, you'll see exactly why. It's about 6 minutes long. I think it's worth the 6 minutes, okay? So watch that if you're going to do expireds. Yes, you'll hear her. That's Terry Ann right there, and that's where she's telling you about how she closed that listing. But here's JJ, and this is about 11 minutes long. And this one, I really highly recommend looking at this, especially if you're new. JJ has been out of high school for 3 years. All right, so she's not like a big, heavy, realtor yet. She is going to be huge because she's learning our platform at the beginning of her career, frankly, right? And she's killing it already. You want to listen to how she is approaching the expired market, because she's doing it different from the other people that are doing it. And then John here, this call here, it's really cool because he got involved And what John does, and why you want to listen to this, says stop ignoring expires, is John has a really awesome voicemail, right? He waits 3 months, and that's key to expireds. Like wait 2 or 3 months before you reach out. And he leaves a non-pushy voicemail. He gives it right to you on that call, so you can listen right there and copy it and adjust it to your tone. And people call him back. And you know what he's saying? He goes, I know you were trying to sell your home. I see you didn't. I would just like to meet you and shake your hand and give you something. What does he want to give him? He wants to give him this that I'm holding in my hands. And what happens? People just invite him in their home because this is so compelling. Once they crack it open and look at it, they're having hour-long conversations, right? That's where you want to be in your market. So expires aren't happening all over the US, but they are happening in many states. And if they're happening in your market, I highly recommend you look at what we're doing here, okay? So that's why I gave you this link. And yeah, you should check out other calls on this, right? So let's go back here and let's look at a couple of things. So remember, I'm going to go to the listings page, and I've been talking about the listing presentation. We talk about expireds, but we create a listing presentation. And what's getting a lot of people excited is one, you can print it, you can order it from us. I'll give you a link in a minute. It does cost like $10 each. We're not making really any money. That's going through Mailbox Power. We're just trying to get it to you easily. And if you go here, there's a listings tab on the top of your listings page. And I have a listing presentation flipbook, right? What does that mean? Well, flipbook is like an online magazine, okay? And I have that open, I think right here. And this is our listing presentation. By the way, this is what we do when it comes to marketing your listing. So when you get a listing, it should be auto-swept and dropped into our system. And then we start creating a bunch of tools, do a bunch of stuff automatically, and you can do some other things to get, more reach. Paid ads on Facebook and Instagram. I mentioned that earlier, right? I'll show you how to do that in a minute. We do free social media auto posting. So your listings automatically go to all your social media accounts. We create a virtual tour and put it on YouTube. We have print marketing. I mentioned that earlier, right? We have a nearby homeowner letter. This is a super powerful tool. We have email marketing. It's all auto-generated, right? We're emailing half of these tools to you. We have tools to help you copy and blast out in your own CRM. This sphere of influence, we even have tools for you to share with a homeowner. So you want to read through this a little bit to understand and be able to speak to this confidently. Yes, we do create a listing, a virtual tour and a single property website for every listing. And when your home goes from just listed to open house, we update it, right? So now it's going to say, and we're going to repost it to social media again. When you go from open house to under contract, we're going to update it and repost it to social media again. And again, when it's sold, we're going to update it and repost it again. So there's a lot going on here. When you're doing early stage advertising, the call to actions are to get home buyers. When you're doing later stage, like under contract, pending, or sold, the call to actions are saying, hey, that affects your home value. Click here for your home value. So your same listing can get you buyers and sellers. All right. We also do it mobile marketing, right? So this is the generic one that's in everybody's account right now. You keep going. And, again, if you remember, I was talking about Terry, which she's somewhere on this page, Terry Ann. I asked her, like, what do you think? What really helped you in the listing presentation? And she said, actually, it's all right here. Like, I don't have to like jump all over the place. And it's very clear for what people are looking, when they're looking, it's just comprehensive, right? So that's sitting in everybody's account. It's right here. Go to listings, go to listing presentation flipbook. You can also download it in print, right? If you want something in print, and maybe you do. Jordan, hey, they add your photos and generate all the ads based on the information in your profile. That's right, Jordan. That's right. So we're going to get into setup in just a second. So are there any pre-made ads for the listing presentation? Yes. You notice that we're on the listing presentation tab, and you notice it says Facebook and Instagram. When I click on it, pre-made. Give it a second. It's all ready right there. I will tell you this. You see how we go to a video view? I'm not really a fan of video view. I'm a fan of lead ads. It's one of our options. It's our main option. And when you're running ads, I highly recommend you use lead ads, because every ad comes with name, email, and phone number. So and phone number, everything, you just type in the name of the city and boom, that's going to work, right? There's also for Google, and Google is really a more important website than Facebook. I mean, I think realtors are more familiar with Facebook. It's easier. They've heard about it. We make it very easy. You get leads and name, email, and phone number. It's great. But the Google ads are actually more higher intent, the Google leads. Because people, when people go to Facebook, it's because they're looking at what their friends are doing this weekend and looking at what their relatives are doing and their vacations and all that fun stuff. That's great. That's why it holds eyeballs. But when you have a problem and you have a question like, hey, my transmission's going out, or I need to book a hotel, you don't go to Facebook for that. You go to google.com. And so when people say, hey, how do I sell my home, or what's a commission, or what, whatever about real estate, our Google ads are designed to help you get in front of those people in just a few clicks. And we also have an e-flyer for your database. So if you got a deep database, you got a big CRM, you can just copy this and blast it out on your leads in your CRM. Okay. So let's go. And then here, I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you a few things that we're going to talk about setup. You remember how I said open houses were the #1 way of getting listings in 2025? This piece of paper is a reason why. This is called the Nearby Homeowner Letter. And every one of your listings has that tool, right? I've got an open house, but I've also got one here, a property that's sold. And a lot of people like to use this when it's sold. And a lot of people like to use it at open houses. And some people even use it when it is just listed, right? Because a lot of you maybe have run open houses, mailed out just sold postcards. I see a fair amount, right? I see a lot of agents sharing things on social media saying I sold a property. And what they're doing is they're sharing very colorful things, maybe with your logo, maybe with your headshot, but 99% of the time, no call to action, right? That's not what we're about here. And you can see this piece of paper that you can door knock at an open house, or you can mail to people that own a home. And it says, hey, I just sold a home in your area. I just want to let you know. And by the way, that affects your home value. Go here to this page that we automatically generated for you and go get your home value. You can change the background picture of this, right? You can put this, if you live in wherever you live, that doesn't look like your area. I'll show you where to fix that in just a minute. But that has, for 2025, holding open houses, and we have a lot of teams that hold like 2 to 4 open houses every week, because they meet so many homeowners, because they are printing 50 or 100 of these and walking them through. And then they have some really great tools like our listing presentation and some other tools that really brand you and showcase you of bringing value. So you're going to have more conversations with homeowners when you're holding open houses, right? And I'm going to kind of pause there a second, because when, I don't know if I mentioned it, like we've been doing this for 17 years and I've been talking to realtors for about that long. And I can tell you, and I'm sure some of you share this view, a lot of agents don't want to hold open houses. They're too busy. It's a waste of their time. And if you're dropping a date in the MLS and waiting for the things to happen, that I'm sure is a waste of time. But when you're using our system, which is very comprehensive, it involves paid ads, it involves print, it involves email, and then of course the things that you do, and it involves some other tools that we're giving to you. Well, these open houses are a major way of growing business. Okay. So first think about that. And then I actually spoke to an agent last week. And she said, oh, I never call expireds. And you know what she said? She said, I had a listing and we had to cancel it for whatever reason. And those people got called, the homeowners got called by just all these agents, and the homeowner is like hating me because they think I gave their number out. I said, oh, I understand, right? But the short story is a lot of agents are maybe nervous about expireds, okay? And I want to share with you, like experienced agents, They don't call them on day one. They wait 2 to 3 months. And now it's quiet. They're not being harassed, right? And they meet them. If bottom right here, they door knock and go say hello and put this in there. Gentleman up top, nice voicemail. Just like to meet you and shake your hand. I'm a realtor. Maybe I can, like to meet you. And some people say yes. That's a lot easier. Now, JJ down here, she's a young buck, and so she doesn't know. Like, she's calling day one, right? But she's still doing it. She's leaving 2 voicemails, no answer. 1 text, would you like to see my listing presentation? No answer. Creates a custom listing presentation with their name on the cover, their address on the cover, and their home throughout the listing presentation, and text it to them. And just to say, if you're thinking, if you want to see my listing presentation, click here. And now these homeowners are looking at their home throughout this whole thing, and they can understand that you're going to be doing something that their previous realtor did not. Okay? So that's very important. I'm going to stop on this page because for a lot of our clients, this page, which is in the middle of the listing presentation, especially if you've got one home and their name, their homeowner, and the picture of their home, pause here and say, hey, homeowner, while we're sitting here, why don't you scan that QR code with your own phone? And what happens is a link pops up and their home pops up on their phone right at the kitchen table. Often, a lot of our clients have told us this page right here is what seals the deal. Okay, I see some questions. Let's say timeout because it's 11:25. I've been yammering on for 25 minutes. And you kind of got the gist of what we're doing here, right? I mean, we'll go in more detail. I want to point out, I already mentioned that we have a YouTube channel, right? We also have a mastermind group, which is a private group on Facebook. And you need to get in here and you need to be checking this out like 10 or 15 minutes every day. I'm not every day, every week. Okay. And you'll see a lot of things where people are asking questions, where Scott and I are talking about what's going on. Because we're always pushing that new technology or something new is happening that you just need to be aware of. So scan here to see what's going on. Okay. Now we also have a private mastermind group on Facebook solely for expireds and seller leads. So if you're an agent who wants more listings, and I can't remember, somebody here said that was their focus, it was you, right, Linda? I think it was you. Get in here and get on our expired things. So let's now talk a little bit about, okay, now we know kind of a little bit about what Listings to Leads does. How do we set this thing up? What if you're brand new to us, right? And let's see if I can turn this on. So when you sign up, first of all, everything is month to month, right? You sign up on our website, you get 2 free weeks. We ask for your credit card, we hold it for 2 weeks, and then we drop you on this page where you got to put your picture. And if you need your license number or license state in, well, put it there. If you don't, just skip it. Okay. The next page, we're going to ask, where's your logo? And if you're with a big franchise, with a national brand, you can choose your color palette here. Okay. If not, you can always custom to fit your own boutique, right? And by the way, if you need an office account, give me a ring. I'm at vince@listingstoleads.com. I set up the teams and brokerages all around the country. So if you need, the office number in there, if you need any of this, fill it in. If not, just skip it. Here's where it gets important. Connect all of these. And I'm going to just, tell you, when you click connect to Facebook, it will say connect and follow as you with your personal name. You want to say yes, continue with you, because it's only going to connect to your business page. We're not going to be auto posting anything to your personal page. Okay. So it kind of confuses a few agents when it comes to Facebook. Connect to Instagram, connect to LinkedIn, Twitter, Google Business. And if you have Gmail, you do have a YouTube channel. You may not know that, so you can kind of fix that. But then if you connect YouTube, we're going to take the virtual tours we're making for you and putting it there. Now here it says social media paid ads, and really it should say Facebook ads. We want you to connect to Facebook. Even though we asked you to connect on the previous page, we're asking you again. This is so you can run ads in 2 clicks. And then we ask you again to connect to social media again. And this is actually a very important and free part of the platform. So what we're looking at here, notice you can connect to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Google Business. After you connect, you can tell us what topics do you want to do. And underneath, you see this eyeball. That means that there are multiple articles under each one of these sections. And you want to choose those. You want to tell us how many days a week, and you connect. And then that's going to auto post throughout the year, including the PDF guides that we talked about earlier. So you don't have to post these to your social medias, because we're going to do it throughout the year, and we're going to put a landing page behind it. You might actually capture some free leads there. Okay. Let's go continue. This is how we auto sweep your listing. So drop in your email that you have in the MLS. It might be different from your day-to-day working email that your office gives you, but whatever the one is in your MLS, have it here, and that allows us to auto sweep in. If that doesn't work, you can always borrow a listing. You can grab it if it's your listing or if you're borrowing from somebody else. We just need the zip code and the MLS ID. That'll pull it. You can do that inside the account as well. And then here, this is where if you've got your own CRM, well, we have APIs from a lot of the leading ones, right? If you don't have your own CRM, turn this on. It's our drip campaigns. And honestly, our drip campaigns are more powerful than probably 99% of the CRMs that we all know, like these ones right here. Most drip campaigns from CRMs are just that. You turn it on. There's one for buyers. There's one for sellers. They're really wordy. And you got to ask yourself, do people talk to you? Do they start calling you? Are you getting business from those leads that are dropping in there and these drip campaigns are working on? If not, I would say turn this on, because our drip campaigns, one, get in the inbox, and two, close appointments. Now here you can import your reviews from Zillow and Google and a testimonial tree, and then you're done. Okay. I think there'll be some questions like, survey kind of questions, but that's it. And that turns on all the automation. And that's why your listing presentation looks right. And that's why when you run an ad on Facebook, it's got their stuff. And that's why we have your listings, right? So that's it. That's what you got to do to set up. Let's look at the questions here and make sure we're answering those. So Jordan, yes, they add your photos and generate the ads all based on your profile. That's right. Yep. I can't find the nearby homeowner letter. Heather, that is on every listing that's in your account. Okay, so I'm going to go over there and show you where. So you see I have a good number of listings, and I got an open house here. Just click on market listing on any of these properties, and the nearby homeowner letter is right here. And there are 3 versions of the letter. They just look different, but they have all the same call to actions. So choose the one that you like. Okay. And Ryan has a question. Okay, that's good. We'll write your questions there, Ryan. Where is the link to send to the neighbors a letter with a certain distance that a house just sold in their home value? Oh, you might be thinking, so this is a nearby homeowner letter, this is the letter, Linda, that a lot of our clients use. So notice we've got a printer here called Express Copy. So the key to this letter, if it's an open house, which this one is an open house, you want to print that 50 or 100 times. You want to walk it out, right? You want to door knock and let the neighbors know. So if you get homeowners into your open house. But what if you just listed something or you just sold something? Well, now you might want to mail that nearby homeowner letter, which is right here, to homeowners, right? And I've got a connection with Express Copy because I have an account over there. And now I can connect it. Now I have this button here that says print and mail. I'm going to have a sip of coffee and show you what this is about. So we connect to Express Copy, which is the national printer. If I click get mailing list, I can now say, hey, I'm going to send this in a 3-mile radius of my current home. And this company will download this letter. They will fold it, they'll put it in an envelope, and they'll mail it in a 3-mile radius or whatever you decide to people who own single-family homes for more than 6 years. Okay, that's really what you want to be doing. Now, there are ways where you can do it yourself. You can buy that list from other companies like, ListSource and Remine and RedX and things like that. Or you can have these guys do it for you. We launched this integration about 3 years ago. Scott and I were very excited when we did this, but I can tell you, We're a little disappointed because the key to this letter is very simple. You get it in somebody's hands, they can scan it, they can make a decision in a few seconds, and if they want their home value, they can go get it. The only thing we don't like about it is the envelope that it goes in is actually, it looks a little bit like bulk mail. It's white. The font on the envelope is kind of like, how do you say? It just looks like bulk mail. That doesn't look like So let's go to the other side, because that letter has been the #1 tool for getting high quality listing leads for well over 10 years. Now this lady here, Pat Motley's been a client of ours, for probably 15 years. Not consistently, like every other agent, she gets distracted by something else and then comes back. But she's comes and goes, and she came in here and said, "Hey, I always mail out 100 just listed and another 100 just sold. And I print on the back of the same piece of paper with Microsoft Publisher, so it looks like that. Then I hand fold and hand write these things." Okay, that little red stamp, it's actually done by her computer. Why would she do that if you can do it in 2 clicks with Express Copy? Well, the answer is actually in her post, because the first 100 of just listed had 4 homeowners calling her. And if you look at the comments, you'll see that this batch, which is another 100 letters, has another 4 homeowners calling her. So that's like 8 people want to sell their home for marketing 1 home with 200 pieces of mail. Okay, a lot of work there. She says it's 4 hours. A lot less work here, but I'm pretty sure nobody is pulling 8 listings from 200 pieces of mail with this. You can see the difference, right? So it's just food for thought. Now, let's see. Where's the link to send neighbors a letter? Yeah, that's it. That's it, Linda. Yeah. Okay. I am new to my area and I don't know anyone. If I don't have any local friends, people following me, and how will they see my ads? Oh, that's a good question. That's a great question. Let's run an ad. Let's run an ad on a open house, because you know that on our homepage, there's somebody saying like open house ad. Like, you want to be running ads on homes that are just listed, homes that have open houses, and homes that are sold minimally, like 7-day ads, $50 each. Like that's minimally what you want to be doing every month. So this one's open house. So I'm going to click on Facebook and Instagram, and let's answer Ryan's question. So Ryan, where are you now? Right, you have friends in some old area, right? Where are you now? Right, what city? And here's the thing. And this is actually true. Now, this is an open house. So when Ryan is saying, I don't have any friends in this local area, that's really not a big point. That doesn't mean it's not important in this, because this little blue box is telling you where this ad is going to show. Okay. And what that means is anybody that logs into Facebook, there's this news feed. It's like all the ads and all the, what your friends are doing, what your family's doing, all the things that you follow are right there in the middle of the page. Your ad that looks like this is going to be sitting right in the middle of the page. Okay. And what you do need on your business page for all of you, and this might be dated information, but you need 25 people to like your page. That shows Facebook that you're not just a spamming company, and that allows you to run ads. And also, I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna get out of this open house, because there's a really important thing that you can do when you have homes that are for sale. Now, open house is for sale, but you want to run that ad locally, right? Maybe 15, 20, 30 miles, depending on where you are. But what if you just have a home that's for sale? And we have a lot of clients in places like Texas and Tennessee and Florida and Arizona. And they all had like awesome run-ups with COVID. And now they're facing a big inventory issue with high interest rates. And prices were driven up. And so, boy, you just got this hangover kind of situation going on. So what do you do if you're in that position? Well, instead of marketing it in Austin or wherever you are, or Naples, or, take this out and type in something like this. And you can actually go look at, you can look at the moving companies or there's some research that'll tell you where are people moving from to your town. And now back to Ryan's question, now you're marketing in New York City or you're marketing in Chicago. You may never even been there, but this ad is going to show there. A lot of our clients who are in Texas and Florida, we highly recommend this. They already know that, just didn't realize it was that easy in our system. Here's how easy it is, and this is really important for a lot of the southern states. New York City, 30 miles, $50, even $100, even $100. But let me explain a little bit that you may not know. When you have a $50 ad or a $100 ad, this word here, lifetime budget, that means that's a max you can spend. But when you run an ad, Facebook approves it. And they may approve it in 20 minutes, 2 hours, 24 hours. I don't know. It's usually pretty fast. But when they approve it, they put like a price of your leads, right? They say, okay, well, we're going to charge you $5 a lead or $2 a lead or $1 a lead or $3. But the average cost of a lead on Facebook for homes for sale is actually $3 in the United States, maybe $3.20, $25 now, okay? If you're running ads locally in Florida, and I haven't exactly analyzed it, but I see a lot of ads, it looks like the lead cost is closer between $4 and $5. And that's if you're running the ad to target inside Florida, because there's so many agents in Florida marketing homes trying to get stuff going, right? And actually, oddly enough, I've seen New York leads cost less than Florida leads because there's just fewer people marketing up there. Less competition I think competition is one of the big drivers on lead cost. When you're running ads, let's go over here and just talk a little bit more about ads. When you're running an ad on Facebook for buyer leads, that average lead cost is $3. If I run an ad on a sold property, that average cost is $7. Seller leads are more valuable to realtors than buyer leads, right? If I run an ad on any of those PDF guides that I was talking about earlier, right, whether it's for buyers or for sellers, all I got to do is create an ad like that. And lead ads, because I like name, email, and phone number, these leads cost between $10 and $12 each, right? You do got to type in the name of the town, but that's not too hard, right? So let's see what's happening with my keyboard. Did it just die? Yeah. Okay. That's how that works, right? And then you just go boom. And they can download it. You don't have to even touch it. They click the ad, they give you their name, email, and phone number, and they download it, right? But let's talk about this one here. So if you're running an ad on what is your home worth, and I actually have a landing page for San Antonio. Let's go look at that. I think I have it here. You can't see it. That's so weird. Let's look at this one. I have one for Walnut, which is right by me. When you run an ad on a landing page on what is your home worth, there's a lot of competition for that, and Facebook charges around $15 a lead for that. So if you divide 15 into 50, you would expect 3 leads and maybe an extra $5, okay? Like just sitting in your account. So there's a price per lead. I want you to understand that. But I'll tell you, like, and I know, I think it's Ryan's new here, and I think you said you're really new. I would tell every agent, and we really believe that every realtor should be spending between $300 to $400 a month on Facebook. But I'm going to share with you, like, when I talk to brand new agents like Ryan, I unless you have a big budget, I would tell you at least run one $50 ad every week. You notice that mine is sponsored by my business page, so yours is going to be sponsored by you. So Ryan, where are you? Again, you're new to your area, but I don't know where you are, but you're probably competing with somewhere between 5 and 30,000 agents. I don't know what city you're in, but that's like a reasonable number, right? Wherever you are in the country, all of you are competing with at least 5 to 30,000 agents, maybe even more. And if you're new to the industry, who even knows you're a realtor, right? a few friends and family, your sphere of influence. And it doesn't mean they're giving you deals. That's frankly a big disappointment for many realtors. So when you spend $200 on $450 ads every month, your business page, whatever it's called, Ryan the Rockstar Realtor, that's going to be seen between 5,000 and 8,000 times every month. I don't know where you're going to get that kind of branding on Facebook. And they can click on this and you might get buyer or seller leads. Okay. And that's really a very powerful part of our platform is when you're running ads here, every lead comes with name, email, and phone number if you're using our lead ads option. And you want leads with name, email, and phone number. Now, they're all not going to convert in like 1 hour, right? It's not like we're vetting them or anything like that. You are putting something that's valuable to them that they want. Maybe they want to hear about that open house, or they want their home value, or whatever it is you're sharing. And if they want that information, they got to give you their name, email, and phone number. So when you get to that, you got to ask yourself, maybe what's the conversion rate, right? And on average, the conversion rate is 1%. We have teams converting even 5 and 6%. And those people are texting their leads first, okay? So if we go over to our homepage and you see that call I was mentioning here with Brian Matheson in Texas, he runs an ad in the morning, gets one $4 lead, texts the morning, and by the afternoon, he's got a phone call booked, right? Let me show you something. You don't have to do this when you're running ad. I'm going to show you now for your own knowledge. When I click create new form, we got all kinds of questions you can ask. But the key is, you see this little window here that says full name, email, and phone number. Whoever clicks on your ad, those fields are going to be auto-populated from the profile of the person who clicked the ad. Okay? So these numbers are highly accurate. And where my blue button says next, theirs is going to say, yes, submit my info. Like, do you want information? Do you want your home value? Yes, submit my info. Do you want information on open house? Yes, submit my info. That's all it says. They can either X out or say, yes, submit my info. And at that moment, we send you their contact information via text, via email. We put it in the leads tab over there on the left, and you got your CRM connected. We'll put it in over there too. And you might think, oh, I'm going to call them right now. I just got the lead, calling them right now. You can call them in like 30 seconds. And you know what you're going to hear? I don't know what you're talking about. You're going to hear that almost every time. And that's because they don't know who you are, right? And I don't know if you've heard this, but there's a lot of scams in this world today, right? There's scams in your text messages. I get them every day. There's scams on the phone call. There's scams in your email. There's even scams in your chats inside of Facebook. I was reading last week that people call you. They don't say anything. They just want you to talk so they can get your voice, right? I mean, there's just way too many scams. So when you call somebody, even though they just gave it to you, they don't know who you are, and they're going to say anything to get you off the phone, okay? Now, if you text them a handful of times, hey, I saw you just saw my open house. It's in Austin. Or do you live here? Are you moving here? Leave it alone. Quick question. Don't write a big paragraph and drop it on somebody's phone. Wait 30 minutes and say, hey, by the way, that's a 3-2. Is that what you need? Do you need something bigger, smaller? Wait for the answer. 30 minutes. It's 400, right? Whatever. 3 or 4 questions, then call them. You're going to have a much better time of actually talking to them. This guy here has his own AI text follow-up, and we have our own AI text follow-up over here. It's an add-on. It's converting 14% of our Facebook lead or leads with phone numbers to phone calls. So if you want more automation and you don't want to be texting all these things, because honestly, to convert a lead, it honestly usually takes more than 10 texts or 5 texts. It's closer to 10, even 15 texts, right? So if you start running a lot of ads, you're going to be texting a lot. So, get used to it. Text them when you can. Maybe turn on the under the leads tab is our AI text follow-up. So let's make sure we got all the questions answered. Randy's having trouble connecting the MLS. And so ask our support about that, Randy. But I'm going to give you a shortcut to think about. We actually, Randy, what company are you with? So this is ListHub. This is the largest national syndication company in the country. Okay. And when you click on who we work with, this will tell you what MLSs by state that they work with. Okay. And I'm just going to click on Oregon. Let's say your excuse me, your MLS is on this list. That means that you're in New Hampshire, right? You're in New Hampshire. So if you're, let's just go look at it right now while we're talking. BHS. Oh, you're with a Better Home. Okay. So are you in this? So is Better Homes part of Anywhere, Randy? Prime. Yeah, there's Prime right there. Okay. So first of all, that's going to work for you right there, right? So if you're the broker, the owner of the company, you can set up I'm going to click on that button up right. You can create a free syndication account with them. You do got to answer these questions. They verify you, then they get your inventory in there, and then they are the ones who start sending us your listings automatically. Okay, that's Berkshire Hathaway, so that's not Anywhere. Sorry about that. So that's how we automatically get your listings in. And since you might want to, if you're the broker owner, set up a free account. It takes about 7 to 10 days for them to finish it. And then we look at your email address that's in your profile and we drop your listings associated with that email into our system. If you're at Anywhere, Anywhere owns, CB, Century 21, Sotheby's, etc., then there's a different place where we can drop your email in and we can sweep on that fee too. What is the name of the other Facebook page? Expired. Yeah. So ask our support team, Jacqueline. Oh, didn't we speak? Yeah, we spoke last week. It's right here. Just ask the support team. Can I get a link to the expired? Or you can email me, Jackie. I think you have my email. I'll send it to you. And by the way, guys, I'm Vince at Listings to Leads. If you do need a team account or a broker account, you should email me and we can talk about that. Okay, let's see the other questions. You can't get your CRM connected either. What CRM is that, Ryan? Yes. Hi, Jackie. What CRM is that? And do you have to have a business page? I started with a personal page as my business page. That is where all my followers are. Okay, that's a great question, Jordan. Let's talk about that. So let's see. Yes, you have. The short answer is you have to have a business page. And let me give you a long answer though. It's against the terms of service. Not that anybody ever reads the terms of service, right? You don't read that on your iPhone or anything like that, right? So why would you read it from Facebook, right? And so here's the thing, Jordan. It is against the terms of service to post business on your personal page, okay? And agents do it all the time. At Listings to Leads, we will not be doing that because what happens is every once in a while, agents' websites or business pages, what's the problem here? They just get turned off, just shut down. You're canceled out, okay? And you will then realize that Facebook has maybe the worst customer service of an online company I've ever seen. When they shut you out, there's like, you're dead in the water. You're emailing and nobody's going to call you and you can't call anybody. This is our business page, okay? I have a private page and occasionally I share things on my private page, but that's really like, music in my garden and with my dog, right? If I put business stuff on my personal page, I make sure to take it off because, we've talked to a lot of agents. We've seen agents get their whole accounts just wiped out and there's no recourse. And they email us and asking us for help. We don't know anybody over there. Like can't help you. So no, we don't. Okay. Lofty. Okay. Lofty. What was Lofty, everybody? Was that Chime? I think it was. So you go to your profile And that's where you connect here, and you go to CRM integration, and you go to Lofty and connect Lofty. And I think you got to log in. And if it's not happening like that, there's some sort of connection here that they're looking for a pass through. Support, what's wrong? Yours was canceled out, and I had to create a new business page tied to your wife's account. There's absolutely no recourse. That's totally true. Yeah, Lofty was Chime. Yeah, Wade. I mean, that's a real bummer with Facebook, and that's why agents every day of the week are posting their business on their personal page on Facebook, and that's great. But I feel for you when your account gets shut off, because as Wade said, it's no fun. You're not going to get help there. This is my personal page, and you'll see I have stuff there, right? But when I put business stuff here, I make sure and get that off, right? That's just the point. And so, because I definitely don't want my account shut down. So about every week or two, I go there and just delete stuff, right? So, okay. We got 5 minutes. Are there any more questions on any part of the platform? I do want to say this. There's, as I said earlier, there's a lot of tools in here, but there's actually something that I do want to speak up. We don't talk about it too much because there's just so much to talk about. But if you go to listings, like, let me ask, is there anybody here that does not have a website right now? Meaning like just an agent website? Because I set up the brokerages around the country, and we do a lot of accounts for independent brokerages, and they don't all have their own websites, and they're pleasantly surprised when I tell them, hey, go to listings, go to more tools, and click on agent website, because we've actually created a website for you. It's sitting in your account automatically. Right now, you can't replace this URL with your URL, but you can put yours. Your PDF guides are here, all branded to you. And if somebody wants to download, also all of your reviews are here, and our listing presentations here. You remember that, right? So they can download it for free. They just got to answer a few questions, and then what I think we're going to ask them what their home is worth, right? What's really cool is if you don't have a website, you can actually go to your MLS, and we can plug that in like right below this banner, so people can search your MLS from this page. Sometimes it's free. A lot of our clients, that's free. That little link, it's a iframe or whatever. But I have seen a few MLSs where they charge kind of a ridiculous amount of money. I guess I need to connect my other Facebook business page to L2L. Yeah, you might want to. Yeah. Can we edit the guides? No, Sarah, you can't edit the guides. We were just talking about that last week. Excuse me. This year in 2026, we're going to be looking at that. One of the things that people really want to edit is this listing presentation. Where is what link? Where's what link, Wade? This is the listing presentation. And a lot of people would like to be able to edit this, maybe add a page or maybe subtract a page. So that's probably one of the first things we're going to get going here in, maybe by Q2, beginning of Q2 here. It's mid-February. So we've got a big project we're about to launch right now, and we're all excited and going crazy. But after that, we're probably going to be looking at this. And then to your question there, Sarah, we're going to be talking about how to give the ability to edit PDF guides as well. Florence, that's a great question. Is this recorded? And the answer is yes. All of our classes are recorded. And let me send this to you right now. This is the link I shared with everybody earlier, but that, Florence, this call will be on the page I just sent everybody. Yeah, I'd love to be able to remove a page or two. Yes. Okay. So yeah, Sarah, like we know that we're Scott and I were just talking about that last week. So we'll get there as soon as possible. It's an important question that we hear often. The other thing I'm going to share with you is if you have, well, let me share this. Let me share this. If you don't have your own CRM, go to follow-ups. We kind of saw this on the setup wizard earlier. Turn these two on. We got a seller lead follow-up and we got a buyer lead follow-up. We even have them in Spanish. And we even have some emails if you're getting expired leads and you want to like send them something just to keep top of mind. There's like 4 different emails there. But I can tell you, look over here. You see this open rate? Like that is these are real numbers. That's nearly 40% open rate. Go look at your CRMs, whether it's Lofty, KB Core, which is Bull Trail now. Look at your open rates and let me know if any of your open rates from your CRMs are as high as ours, because I'm almost 100% certain they are not. We also have a lot of feedback that our drip campaigns, because let me show you something. Your drip campaigns, and I'm just broad brushing it, so don't be offended. They're always very wordy. You know what I mean? Like read 3 or 4 paragraphs. And unfortunately, nobody can read anymore. Ever since TikTok, our brain capacity is about 5 to 10 seconds and we're gone. Every other message that we have has some sort of guide or landing page that they can get more information. And if you're using our follow-ups here, when you see, we're going to be turning these 2 tabs into what's called a pipeline. Okay. Now as I mentioned, I've been in, here for 17 years. We've been building this out. But prior to that, I was a sales director for Dow Jones. And I can tell you, I've rolled out CRM. And I'm sure just like listings to leads, you don't know 10% of what software you're paying for. So this section here where it says follow-ups and leads is going to be called pipeline. And we're going to be making this a powerful place for you to work your leads and convert them into business. So that's going to get more robust. And, you might, if you don't have a CRM, I would turn on our follow-ups and watch this thing grow to help you. I think that's all I can say. Any other questions? You're welcome, Florence. You're welcome, Sarah. I'm happy to answer any questions, but this call is being recorded and it will be up here either, I don't know, one of our people is on vacation. So hopefully it'll be up here pretty fast. Maybe somebody else in our sport team is going to do that. Get in our expireds. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing. And I definitely, when you log into listings to leads, there's going to be a pop-up window. But you see up here, in the pop-up window, there'll be a link to join our expired classes. And over here, there's a bell. And if you go to this bell, you will see also, these are the classes. You can sign up for them here. So if you kind of, you blast by that page, get your expireds in your business. Okay. Now, again, expireds are exploding in some states and they're barely happening in other states. If these are happening in your states, get on our calls, learn how to work expireds, because that's the fastest way to get more listings. And once you get more listings, start holding open houses with us. And you can learn about that on our YouTube page. And you're going to get more listings from your open house. And you're going to be using our listing presentation and Facebook ads in those processes. Okay. That's really rinse and repeat. You are welcome, Johnny. Oh, good to see you, Johnny. How do I get my Google business page attached? Good question, Ryan. There's actually, let me answer that, because I'm going to go up here to social content first. If you have Google business, you need to come here and connect this, because this content here, I'm in social content, you connect it down here at Google business. I really recommend that you have it like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then you have like 14, 15 topics, right? There's multiple articles. This content constantly refreshed on Google business. Google is ranking it, and it's taking your Google business pages to page 1 of local real estate searches without paying anything. Of course, you're paying us our monthly deal here, right? But also on your profile, you can go to social media auto posting here on the top and connect Google business here. And this allows us to auto post your listings, and your landing pages to your socials. So you connect in two places. Okay. Any other questions? I don't see any more. Sure. Thank you for being with me today and being with us, and welcome to our platform. Again, if you need a team account, you can find my information. I'm Vince at listingstoleads.com for any kind of team or broker deal. And just take your time and focus on the 4 things that I've mentioned. Get good at those. And then you'll find the other cool stuff. Like there's just a lot, there's a lot of stuff here to help you. Have a great week, everybody. Be careful if you're dealing with rain. We got some big storms coming over here. Talk to you soon. What's the first place to start? Expireds, open houses, Facebook ads, and listing presentations. Have a good one.